Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the debate. Now, last week, very, very good, interesting debate. Lots of good feedback on this one from last week. I think a lot of people liked what we were doing with this kind of thing. It was obviously talking about Howard Kendall and his best signing, and lots of people agreed with me about Neville Southall.
Yeah.
Some agreed with you on yours. Some people said it should have been Sharpie. Some people said, why does Ped not like Sharpie? There's lots of different stuff. That was a really tough one because of all the top quality. You're never going to have one as good as that because, but you might have as good a show. I just don't think we will have as many players to pick from.
No.
From that team.
I think what come out of it for me as well is we need to do some more 84 to 88 chats.
Okay.
87 chats, because I think the golden era needs celebrating.
But what we'll do is we'll stick the PlayStation on, get Pez on the go, have a bit of a game and have a chat. See
There's another one. Yeah.
See if people like it.
Yeah.
This era we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Colin Harvey, the era immediately after, and this is not an easy era to pick a player from because it's complicated, and we'll go into it. Not over complicated, but so this is the most important player that was in that era. Who have you gone for?
Most important, or
best, or whatever.
Best.
I don't know.
Well, it is difficult because there's some players who are in that era who were actually better in a later era.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But if we're just talking about Colin's time and who performed during Colin's time, the player I'm going to say was probably his most successful signing for his period would be Norman Whiteside.
Do you know what?
That you've gone for?
No, but I was thinking you were going to go for the one I was going to say, and Norman Whiteside was going to be my backup just in case you said it. So therefore, I'm going to say Tony Cottee.
Yeah.
But it's weird that you said Norman Whiteside because when I was a kid, I loved Norman Whiteside at Everton. People didn't like him or didn't like the idea of signing Norman Whiteside because he scored the goal in 85, which ruined the treble for us, and obviously the winning the FA Cup and the league, and I think also people forget is how young Norman was when he scored that goal. Therefore, how young he was when he actually signed for us. But I thought he was a phenomenal player.
26, I think, when we signed him, or 25. He was an absolutely brilliant footballer. I was at Wembley that day when he bent that round Nev. Horrible day. But he was a fantastic footballer. Played in the World Cup when he was 17. He was a man when he was 17. It's like a bit like Wayne Rooney. The way Rooney was a man at 17. Whiteside was 6 foot, powerful. Left foot was brilliant. Played for Northern Ireland. And we got him from United. Obviously they had a few injuries, but we were able to pick him up, and he come in his first season. He really had one full season at Everton, and then the second season was curtailed by injuries, and the injury that ended up with him having to retire. But for the first season, I think he got 12 goals in 26 games, I think, from midfield. He was just a brilliant footballer, and watching him, he was just fantastic. And although I knew you'd go with Cottee, and that's probably, in all fairness, that's probably the right choice, given he stayed at Everton, obviously played under Howard Kendall and stuff, scored, I think he ended up with 99 goals, didn't he, for us? So he was good, and I was made up when we signed Tony Cottee. Spurs wanted him, and we were able to get him, hat-trick on his debut, and I mean, it was great. But for me, just in terms of, for Colin Harvey's time, for a signing, really, you look at him and went, what a player he is. Norman Whiteside was my choice.
No, he was. It's a bit of a weird one. It's almost like a lost era of Everton. We talked about last week about not being much footage. There's not a great amount of footage from this time. I mean, it's all there, but it just wasn't. It's not like it's readily available because it's like a lost era. It's like nothing happened in this time. Like we weren't shite, but we weren't good, and it was like we were a very in between team. And I mean, if you think it's bad now for those teams, then it was coverage wise, because there wasn't a massive amount of coverage anyway. There was very little coverage. We probably got a little bit more because the Northwest was, I think, programming wise, was still very good, and then Wellesby was a blue and stuff, probably made sure we were on and stuff, but he was fantastic. I loved Norman Whiteside when he played for us. He, as he said, his goal scorer. He was like a bit of a Kale. Always scoring important goals.
Better footballer, to be fair.
But you know, Man United, they got rid of him. Ferguson got rid of him because he was part of the infamous Tuesday Club. Essentially, a lot of teams at the Tuesday Club. I heard Ian Wright to him the other day about it. I think he put a picture on. Him and Ray Parlour were having a drink, and he said, "Oh, it's the Tuesday Club, but on a Sunday." Effectively, football teams have Wednesday off, so Tuesday afternoon meant go on the ale and you recover on the Wednesday, and you're back in training on the Thursday. That's what the Tuesday Club was. Ferguson, when he went into Man United, he just decimated it. Paul McGrath, Norman Whiteside. In fact, I think the only one he really kept was Brian Robson, because obviously the worth what Brian Robson was worth to the. We got rid of that drinking culture. He was way ahead of his time, ahead of that. I know people think Wenger came in and, like, you know, solved this problem in English football, but Ferguson established that was a clique that needed breaking up. And also because I think he must have, I don't know if he knew it, but Paul McGrath, his knees, Norman, was it his feet? What was it?
Ankle, wasn't it?
His ankle, something like that. He obviously realised that alcohol had no place in the long term of modern footballs because of injuries and stuff like that. Either that or it was just a coincidence, but we got him, and yeah, he was a fantastic player. And again, it's hard to really pull any bright spots out of this time, and we'll go through a couple of the things in a minute. But this was an era that, if you remember, you know, obviously we remember it. This was straight after winning the league, straight after Howard had left. So, you know, building on what we'd done, and it was a shame because Colin almost got the brunt of it because he was in a no-win situation in a way. Because,
well, I think what we'd done wrong, and it's easy to say it in hindsight, was that we just made him the manager, and he wasn't the manager. It wasn't management material.
Well, there was that, and there was another thing we did wrong. We didn't buy anyone in the summer of '87. We bought a couple of squad players.
Yeah.
We didn't buy anyone. We never built on what we were doing. And Liverpool were all over it. You know, they were building for the future.
Well, they got Barnes, Beardsley, and Aldridge, didn't he?
And they made the decision. You know,
and Houghton, who was amazing.
Yeah. They'd gone. You know what? We're not winning the league in '87, we're going to go and get all the best talents. And they did, they hoovered up all the best talents. And we stood there, patting ourselves on the back, while a team was getting older. But not only older, there was players coming into the prime, and they didn't want to be at Everton. They wanted to kick on. They'd won the league, they'd won the cup, they'd won the European Cup Winners' Cup. They wanted to go and get a bit more of that. And players started to leave. That team started to break up, and not only did we allow that to happen, but we just didn't replace quality with quality, and and Cotty. I mean, Cotty's my one, and Cotty come in and scored after 27 seconds on his debut. Sorry, I was in the Gladys Street. I remember I was right at the front in the Gladys Street.
We were probably next to each other. That's exactly where I was.
Funny enough, there's a picture of me at the Wimbledon game, right? And it's taken at the end. I took it off a screen grab because I was on like the DVD. I'm on the DVD because I was on like it went to grandstand, and when they go in, fantastic scenes at Goodison Park, and there's me on the screen, but not like smiling, just like in shock. But there was a lad on the right of me, and years later I ended up becoming friends with him because he was a friend of a friend, and he's still on the picture with me next to me. So 27 seconds, goes on to get his hat-trick. We win 4-0. Sharpie gets the other one. You're thinking, fucking hell, it's the new dawn. Brought him in. We bought Pat Nevin. We bought...
Remember Newcastle had Mirandina up front?
Yeah. We had Neil MacDonald.
Yeah. We
had Stuart McCall. We bought these 4 players that were sort of seen as good players, but they weren't the best players. Whereas Liverpool went and got their best players. And Cotty, as you said, he was wanted by a lot of teams. I think Liverpool wanted him as well. There was talk of Liverpool wanted him. I think they probably went for Aldridge instead because Scousen and was a Liverpool fan and all the rest of it. But I think they'd gone early for Beardsley and went early for Barnes. I think that's where we got it wrong. And Cotty, he scored. I think he scored. Did he score the week after at Coventry?
We won 1-0. Header, yeah.
Neves saved the penalty. I think great save. But
Yellow kit.
But the team just wasn't quite there. And but Cotty in his time was absolutely magnificent. You know, he'd always get you out the shit. Listen, he was a bit of a flat sack bully. Scored 2s, maybe 3s against lesser teams. Then wouldn't be teeing up for the bigger games. Obviously, he scored a couple in the 4-4 against Liverpool.
He scored against Liverpool
at Wembley. He scored at Wembley.
And then a 2-0.
Yeah.
When we did with Mark Ward when he
But
was
that
fighting under Howard. But I mean, he still scored against him. Yeah.
But that was off the bench in the 4-4 as well. Obviously scored at Wembley. We went to Wembley twice that year. The fucking Zenith. Was it the Zenith or the Simod?
The Zenith. No. Yeah, 89 was the Simod
and 91 was the Zenith.
The Zenith, yeah.
I remember going to Wembley against Forest.
Fucking be 4-3, didn't we?
Yeah, empty.
Chapman.
Yeah, it was empty.
Chapman.
And then obviously we got beaten in the cup final by Liverpool. But I just remember when Cotty scored with like 5 seconds on the clock left, and the place just went mental.
Against Liverpool? No, Stewart, recall.
Sorry, I meant when Cotty jumped over the ball. Then when he was like in the back of the net and Stewart scored, and Cotty jumped up out the way.
On the
second one, yeah.
Oh.
I just remember Cotty. That's why it stuck in my mind. And sorry, because Cotty,
over
and he should have actually been offside in the rules. But imagine disallowing a goal in an FA Cup final, Liverpool versus Everton, with 5. Yeah, last kick because Cotty's in the goal. That would it, but technically he was actually offside. But Cotty's magnificent, and but it's so hard, and as I was saying, it's difficult. But this is what it's difficult to know which one was better.
Yeah.
But the real thing I wanted to bring up was we were talking about, not doing things the right way and just I was looking at the players we brought in now. 87, 88. So obviously the season after we've won the league
champions.
League champions. You want to build off the back of it. You want to build your squad. We brought in Alec Chamberlain and Ian Wilson. So we brought in a sub goalie and Ian Wilson
from Leicester. Wilson was a good player actually. He had a nice left foot. But he had a baldy head at the top. He did have
a baldy head.
But he had that, not like a baldy head now, like where Gravison did. Yeah. He had a baldy head where it was like full egg in the nest. Like a vulture's egg in the nest. So it was round with the owl. And that never looks good on a footballer.
It doesn't.
But he did have a nice left foot, Ian Wilson. But he was no Sheedy,
Yeah.
Well, he was the backup for Sheedy. That was what the premise was with that, because Sheedy had picked up injuries, starting to get a few injuries, and Wilson was seen as the lad that had come and play off the left.
Well, we're talking about like the decline of Everton, really. I mean, I think these 2 seasons, if people think we've sold gems in the last few years and not really replaced them.
So that 87, so Howard went off to Bilbao.
Yeah.
So who went out the door that summer?
Nobody of any note.
Yeah, because I'm thinking
just again
that was at Everton,
just so, kids and stuff. But the following summer, so we brought in Tony Cotty, we brought in Jason Keaton, player by the way, Stu McCall, Pat Nevin, Neil MacDonald. So out the door went, and this is where it starts, Peter Reid, Alan Harper, Ian Marshall, Derek Mountfield, Gary Stevens. So straight away, that's 4 of what? 4 of 14 players from the 85 team. Of course, Andy Gray's already gone. Lineker's been and gone by now as well. The next season, we brought in. I think it's so important to see how we lost ground and how the next season we brought in Mike Newell, Ray Atterveld, Martin Keown, Stephen Wren, Norman Whiteside. We got rid of Paul Bracewell, Wayne Clark, Trevor Stephen, Pat van den Au, Ian Wilson. So the picture that this is painting is so obvious of why Colin Harvey failed in his second term, because in his first team, sorry. Because we're bringing in players there that are just shite, and they're replacing players that were just quality. You know, Gary Stevens, you know, Trevor Steven in the
Well, Gary Stevens had gone off to Rangers, hadn't he? We obviously the European ban. There was as Everton history does. There's always friggin' extenuating circumstances when these things happen. And obviously we'd won the league. We'd had the European ban the year before. Lost the double at the European ban. Howard won the league and then went to Bilbao. Gary Stevens went off to Rangers, who could play in Europe. Obviously more money in European football. And Trevor Steven, there was talk he was going to go that summer. He didn't. He stayed till 89. But he was always going. You know, that was the cup final when the Everton fan got on the pitch and was having a go with him and all that at Wembley. You know, he doesn't care and everything. He went off to Rangers. So you're looking at that. Peter Reid went out the door. You can't lose Gary Stevens, Trevor Steven, Peter Reid, Paul Bracewell, Pat Van Der
the whole team you've
Derek
got.
Mountfield.
Neville stayed, of course. Gary Stevens goes.
Yeah. Mountfield goes. Van Der Now.
Now we'd already bought, like Watson we bought in 86, so he was a crossover player.
Yeah.
Ratcliffe was...
Ratcliffe's played till 91.
Yeah, but he was, in terms of it, he was starting to... Bracewell, Peter Reid, Richardson had already gone. Alan Harper goes, Trevor Steven goes, Andy Gray had gone, Lineker had come and gone, as I said.
Wayne Clark,
you know,
for 87.
Yeah,
come in, won the league and gone.
You know, you're left with Neville, Kevin Ratcliffe, Graham Sharp and Sheedy.
And Heath.
Although
Inchie goes
91, wasn't it?
No, really. I'm sure it was here. Sure, Inchie goes 89 or 90. Definitely. If you're
making for great TV.
No, but I'll just talk it through because while you're looking at that, because what happened was all of those players at the time, I can remember that you're bringing these players in and everyone's full of hope going, okay, well, you know, we have had to try and turn the team around, but you're right, what Liverpool did, they done it differently. They kind of went, right, Everton have won the league, they come run us up, what do we need to do to take over Everton? You know, the two teams, Everton are the better side at the moment, so they went out and identified John Barnes, who was fantastic, Peter Beardsley, who was just a genius of a footballer, as we found out a few years later, John Aldridge, who just put the ball in the net on a regular basis, you know, and they got Ray Houghton, who was absolutely brilliant. So they brought 4 players into a team that had finished runners up, you know, while what we're doing is we're sending, you know, our best players who've done the business.
Yeah, 88.
88, he went off to Espanyol, didn't he?
I don't know why it doesn't come.
No, but I remember because what had happened was he started being, Everton had left him, he started being subbed.
So he left as well, there's another one who left.
So we lost not only the heartbeat of the team, we lost the whole fucking team. Really. You know, when you look back now, that's terrifying.
By 92, they'd all gone apart from Neville.
Yeah. And that is the worrying thing, and that's how, when you look back now, we went from finishing first, I think we then finished 4th the next season, the 88 season, 87, 88. Then I think we had the 6th, then 8th, so it was starting to tail off.
It's quality, isn't it? We've just not replaced quality, and anyone wonders why we slipped away. Probably because John Moores had less influence on the club, I would imagine, and we had to start probably fending for ourselves. And I think that again, that's a...
You know, he still had the money was still there. We broke the transfer record for Cotty.
Yeah.
You know, 2.2 or whatever it was. You know, we spent money. McCall, I think, was 800 grand, which was a lot. Pat Nevin, I think, was 925 grand, if my memory serves me right. He, you know, from Chelsea, that was a lot. Neil McDonald come from Newcastle, he was highly rated. The money was spent, wasn't spent on the right.
So it's like this season.
Well, if you look, we paid. Liverpool bought John Barnes for 900,000, right? And I think they paid 1.9, or was it Ray Houghton for 900 and 1.9 for Barnes, something like that, right? There was players there, and yet they were peak players where we paid. Probably like this. We paid similar prices I think Cotty was the right decision. Cotty was
2.2.
absolutely the right decision because we needed the goal scorer and Tony Cotty.
And also
scored.
it worked with the little and large of Sharp as well.
Sharp,
and that was never really an
although
issue.
he was not the hardest with Sharp. He wasn't a favourite partner of Sharp.
No,
he didn't
wasn't,
run around a lot. But I think the Cotty one was the right decision, and I think he bought Stuart McCall because I think he thought he'd be a good replacement for Reid. He'd be energetic and get about the pitch. McCall was a decent player for Everton, but he wasn't Peter Reid's level. Pat Nevin had been a good player for Chelsea, but he wasn't Trevor Steven. Do you know what I mean? So it was like you're looking and going, you know, Neil MacDonald most certainly wasn't Gary Stevens.
Yeah.
And that's what he was bought for. He was a right back. And he was a big lad, Neil MacDonald, you know, 6'1" or something, but he wasn't as mobile as Gary Stevens. And that's just the start of it.
Yeah.
And then by the next season, you know, and Ian Wilson coming in, who wasn't Sheedy. It's not, you know, we've spent money there.
But we've not bought quality.
We've not bought the players we should have bought.
I'm just trying to get
I'm
just trying to get a snapshot of like the 88-89 season.
And that to me, that it's what's really frustrating, Ped, is that at that time we'd been from a position of strength, right? So it wasn't a difficult. It wasn't. I don't believe it was a difficult prospect to keep Everton in that top echelons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With second and third.
Well, it is. I mean, I just pulled this out. This is from 14th of February 1989.
Yeah.
We drew 1-1 with Aston Villa. Cotty scored 12 minutes. Onward scored.
You know,
Guess what the attendance was?
21,000.
20,000. Our team was Neville Southall, Neil MacDonald, Pat van der Nouw, who was replaced by Pat Nevin, Kevin Ratcliffe, Dave Watson, Bracewell, Trevor Steven, Stuart McCall, Graham Sharp, Tony Cotty, Kevin Sheedy. So there's a hodgepodge there. There's a mix of you know, the 85, 87 and the newer players, but obviously the newer players, the older players were a little bit older, and there was just a lack of quality. I would say.
Well, if you look at
11th of March 1989, 29 years ago. So it was Neville Southall, Ian Snowden. Never even mentioned him, did we?
Well, he come in under Howard.
Yeah. Neil Poynton, Kevin Ratcliffe, Dave Watson, Bracewell, Trevor Stevens, Stuart McCall, Wayne Clark, Tony Cotty, Kevin Sheedy. Pat Nevin replaced Kevin Sheedy. So again,
that one's more like the 87 kind of side.
1-0 we beat Sheffield Wednesday, 22,500. Ron Atkinson was their manager.
Big run from also.
Cotty, 4th minute. Yeah. But again, you're seeing it's like there's just not. There's a dilution of the team where, like, you think about it. You know, 85. It's mad because 85 we win the league. So what do? Well, we go and buy the best striker in the country. And okay, we didn't win it. We didn't win anything. But so it was a case of quality over quantity. It was, we've got the team, we just need to add the best. Now, a lot of people, you speak to a lot of people from that time, they'll say the style of play changed and that's why we didn't win the league. You know, Lineker. No, I know, but that's what people say.
No, I know,
that's what people say. The style of play changed and that's why we didn't win the league. But you can see from this era that we just, I don't know what the decisions were made and why they were made. But to win the league in 87, and that team in 87 was a fucking mess. Like, players were injured. So whether they thought, listen, it's going to be alright, all these players are going to come back and we're going to be sound, or there was a real incompetence in the club that they didn't understand the way the wind was blowing, that all the players were going to start leaving because they wanted European football or whatever, or they wanted a new challenge, and it was about replacing them with better players. Liverpool knew that, because maybe the not winning the league in 87 meant that, you know what, we need to get our position back. We can't offer Europe, so we're going to go after the best domestic players. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe they just got in there before us, and there wasn't really anything left for us in 88 when we went looking. Maybe that was the problem, I don't know. But when you look at the quality dilution up from 87 after we've won the league to when Howard comes in, it's eroded. The squad has been eroded with shite, basically.
Well, you've got the league table in 1987-88. So obviously Colin Harvey's first season, Liverpool won it with 90 points.
Yeah.
From 40 games. Manchester United second, 81 points. Forest third, 73, and Everton fourth, 70. So 20 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
But we finished fourth.
Yeah.
You know, we're ahead of QPR, ahead of Arsenal. You know, we'd won 19 of our 40 games, lost 8. Finished with a plus 26. Imagine if we finished plus 26 now.
I know.
So, you know, we're still fourth.
But fourth got you nothing.
No, I know, but I'm saying we're you know, it isn't as bad as what you think.
No, but it's the fact that you've just won the league, you finish fourth, you don't win anything else either. Okay, we had a nice charity shield, and I remember going to Wembley that day. You don't, you know, you haven't got anything else to show for it.
Yeah.
But then you go into the next season, and it's that, you know, you're not improving. You're not buying players that really improve the squad.
Colin Harvey's second season, Arsenal win it, 76 points, 2 games less. No, 76 points. Liverpool's second, 76 points. That was obviously the greatest night ever. Forest third again on 64 points. Norwich,
they were relegated 3 years later.
Norwich fourth,
yeah,
with 62. Derby fifth with 58. Tottenham 6th with 57. Coventry 7th with 55. Everton 8th with 54. won 14, drew 12, lost 12. Goal difference +5. So within 2 seasons we've gone from league champions to 8th, and goal difference dropping like you wouldn't believe it. So Colin Harvey's, and this is the season, the turnaround season, isn't it? So we're on that downward spiral. It's not difficult to see why.
And we're not buying players that improve us.
Players that improve us, we're replacing with much inferior players. However, in that 89-90, so it's Colin's last full season, Liverpool champions again, 79, Villa second, 70, Spurs third, 63, Arsenal fourth, 62, Chelsea,
it was shite,
fifth with 60, and Everton sixth on 59. Won 17 plus 11, so 20 points behind Liverpool again. So since we were champions, 20 points, 18 points, 20 points behind Liverpool, because they'd gone and give it.
And that's the main thing. I know the place has improved that year, but again, we've not won anything again, and the quality, you know, the quality. I mean, what? I mean, can you get a team up from that? You would see the team would be
from 89-90.
Yeah.
Colin's last thing. Well, just let me read you this. So this was the season that he went. So we've had 4th, 8th, 6th. Yeah. And this was the half season. So Arsenal win the league with 83. Liverpool second, 76. Crystal Palace third on 69. Leeds fourth, 64. City fifth, 62. United 6th, 59. Wimbledon 7th, 56. Forest 8th, 54th, and Everton 9th on 51 points. So 25 points behind Liverpool now. So as you can see, we're just dropping. You know what's really important though? United haven't featured above us in any of them tables.
Well, is a team from 1990, Monday the 6th of April 1990.
Who are we playing?
We're playing Derby County.
At home?
Yeah.
1990. Win 1-0 or 2-1?
2-1.
2-1, yeah.
Ray Atterveld, Kevin Sheedy.
Right.
The team.
Ray Atterveld's goal, right, was a cross and it dropped in.
The team, the attendance was 23,933.
Yeah.
The team was Neville Southall, Ray Atterveld, John Ebrell,
yeah,
Neil MacDonald,
yeah,
Dave Watson, Norman Whiteside, Pat Nevin, Stu McCall, Graham Sharp, Tony Cotty, Peter
Beeks.
So again, look at the way Look at the turnover there now. There's Neville and Sharp from the 85 team, Waggy from the 87 team, and everyone else is coming after that. And it's just the drop off in quality is just huge, absolutely huge.
And that when you look at, you know, you probably looked at a Liverpool side in 80. What should we say, 85 or should we say 87? When we won the league, and they were runners up. You could probably look at a Liverpool side in 87 and then a Liverpool side in 1990, and you won't. I don't think, I haven't done it, but I don't think that there would be the same.
Well, Liverpool. This is from the derby that year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Got beat at Anfield 2-1.
Yeah.
Barnes and Beardsley scored.
Who scored for us?
Sharpie.
Oh, Sharp. Yeah.
Their team was Brucey.
So he was.
Glenn Hussein.
Okay, you've been brought in.
Barry Venison.
He'd been brought.
Steve Nichol.
Nichol was there.
Whelan.
Ronnie Whelan was there. Glenn Whelan.
Hanson
was
Beardsley.
there.
Burrows. Rush, Barnes, McMahon.
So Rush and McMahon around.
So there's a lot of 86 players still knocking about there.
There's at least 6 or 7.
And there's quality. Barnes.
Or 6 rather.
Beardsley. Whelan. Nichol.
Well, I
mean, Glenn Hussein was the Swedish played. Glenn Hussein played for Gothenburg when they won the European Cup, didn't he? So he's quality. And our team was Southall, Snowden, MacDonald, Ratcliffe, Watson, Whiteside, Pat Nevin, Stu McCall, Game Sharp, Keown, and Kevin Sheedy.
5 at the back. Keown was he was a good sign. He was quite good for us, Martin Keown, in all fairness.
Till he left.
We went off to Arsenal, didn't he? Because he didn't want to leave. We wanted him to go, which was a bit of a mad one. Howard decided he could sacrifice him because him and Sheedy obviously had the famous scuffle.
But it shows, doesn't it? I mean, it does show where we've just completely dropped off that year, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And again, I don't know. There must have been at some point where financially, the tap stopped as well, and we just, I don't know. Do you think it was the pull of Everton and we'd lost our pull as well? Maybe people didn't look at it. Maybe people thought what had happened in the 80s was just a blip in terms of, you know, going from the 70s where.
I think it was more who we were looking at recruiting, because I don't remember. I mean, just looking at the next season, 91-92, when Leeds won it with 82 points. Everton, Liverpool finished. To be fair, Liverpool finished 6th that year. We finished 12th on 53 points. You know, so we've gone in 5 years from champions to bottom half finishers. You know, I think probably we didn't build. Don't forget when we won the Cup Winners' Cup, Brian Clough, who was a top manager at that time, Forest had been just the leagues. Forest were up there. Said this team will dominate for the next 5 to 10 years. He said it's unbelievable. It'll win everything. Because that's how highly Everton were rated at that time. And that year, you know, 84, 85, Liverpool were phenomenal. 84, they won the European Cup and the league champions, and Everton came from winning the FA Cup to walk in the league, won it by 13 points, pissed. They give the last 4 games away. Didn't give a shit. Went to Luton and played, everyone was pissed. Played all the kids, went to Coventry, no one cared, got battered. If we'd have played properly, we'd have got over 100 points. We just went, we've won it, it's sound. When Liverpool were the best team in Europe, we came in and just went, nah, we're having this here. And so for the next 3 years at least, we were dominating. But you're right, it's about building. Howard knew we'd won the league. I was devastated when Andy Gray went. I wanted Lineker because he was the big goal scorer. But and why sacrifice Andy Gray? The fuck are you doing? But he knew that with the 3 subs or 2 subs, he couldn't keep. Adrian Heath was going to be the one that he's come back from injury, and he was going to be a sub. Andy Gray would have been in and out. He didn't want to do that to him. Now it wouldn't have been a problem. You'd have Gray and Heath. It would never be an issue. But he still went and looked, and he went and Derek Mountfield. We had Degsy in all the time. I loved Degsy. What a defender! Goals. You know, finished runners up in the league and runners up in the FA Cup. What did he do? Go and buy Dave Watson for 900 grand from Norwich. So the year before he's gone and bought a centre. We've scored 100 odd goals. He went and bought a centre forward. The year later, okay, we don't win the league. We come running something both. He goes and buys at almost £1 million on a centre back.
But he's also, I think, with the Watson one. Watson, I don't think Watson was ready as such. But he just brought him in because he was like, he's gonna be brilliant.
Yeah.
I want him now before
while
we can go and get him and, you know, beat other people to him. And that was the thing. Whereas you just look at the end of '87 and you think that's when it started slipping.
Yeah. If we'd have gone and bought, listen, I'm not saying we could have, but why not? Why couldn't we have got John Barnes, or why couldn't we have got Ray Houghton, who was playing for fucking Oxford, or Beardsley? We were league champions. We still had, we were with the Mersey millionaires. People used to say, with Everton are in for them, we can't compete. That's Liverpool saying it. Liverpool had to rely on, at that time, we're Liverpool, we've won the Europe, well, fucking bit like now, European Cup and all that. But that's how they got theirs. They got theirs through the history, and it was like, listen, we've been very successful. Everton with the money, but we had the league now as well. We had cups to go with the money, so people were like, I want to play for them. I want to go there. That's why Tony Cottee come here. You know, instead of going to other places, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, like you said before, he chose Everton. I want to go there, with, you know, and play for them. So we should have gone and got, you know, Paul Gascoigne was muted around that time when it was you know, so there was players we could have gone and got, and we didn't, and we hesitated, and, you know, Snowden turned Liverpool down to come to Everton. You know, we had a pull, but you're absolutely right, we didn't replace it when we had the pull. So going from a position of strength and a strong position, our position and grip started to weaken, and you're right, John Moore's his grip got less and less. The one for me, which just fucking beggars belief, is Alan Shearer. You know, we offered £3 million, and Blackburn, Southampton said we want 3.3, and we wouldn't pay 300 grand to get him a Blackburn.
But we'll
pay it.
That's a little bit later, but
that shows you that
like where we start, where little things started to where almost like you have to go and pay the extra for the players because
Philip Carton, I know he's not your favourite person and all that, but he stepped away. David Marsh took over at some start of the 90s, and that hit Philip Carter stepping away. John Moore's was obviously, I think he was ill at that time, and that was, the money was like it, the Moore's family were like, hang on a sec, you know. So that start probably didn't want Everton beating Liverpool as much. That, you know, moved away as well. So the club, so you've already seen the playing side slowly getting worse, the quality, and I don't know why. I think Colin would say he is a better coach than he was a manager, right? Fair fucks, everyone who's worked with him. I've been coached by Colin Harvey, you know, dead enthusiastic, great fella, done brilliant work, but him and Howard complemented each other fantastically well, because Howard was ruthless. Howard, and I don't think Colin was. No,
he was probably too much.
He was just the
mates and stuff.
He was just a coach.
It's like what we spoke about Unsworth this season. It's you have a relationship that you can't get away with the players, and I think you're right. I suppose at the time it was the easiest thing to do. That's what Liverpool were doing. The next one from the boot room sort of thing. And I suppose we sort of wanted to continue with that, but it just didn't work. And also he probably just didn't have the eye for the player either. No. He probably just.
I think that's the thing. I think he's one of them where, ironically, if he would have been director of football, he would have gone, Colin, here's the next thing. He'd have probably coached them from a 7 to a 9. But actually identifying, because don't forget, in them days it was like, Colin, who do you want?
Who would you have got as manager then? Because that's really hard, isn't it?
Well, Bobby Dobson, who we nearly got 3 or 4 occasions. I remember he was linked with the job before they give it to Colin, and then he was linked with the job at the end of Colin's first season. So there was that year, and he went on to be linked with us a few times. But we could have gone and probably got.
Was he still at Ipswich then?
He was. No, I think he'd left Ipswich. I can't remember just off the top of my head, but I know that I remember thinking, Bobby, he's a good manager, Bobby Dobson, because he'd done fabulous things with Ipswich. Was he at?
Was he at England? 88?
Oh, he was England.
Yeah.
So was the England, of course, he was the England fucking manager. So there was 88. Yeah. So Everton were interested in him because we'd had been to Mexico, with England, but we'd done all right in Mexico, so there was no chance of getting them. But 88, when we went to the Euros, we were shite. Maybe we didn't get out the group. We got beat by Holland and drew with Ireland when was it Houghton scored the header.
They won.
Oh, they beat us 1-0. Sorry, yeah. I was thinking at 90 when Sheedy scored. So they beat us 1-0. So there was rumours that Robson was going to get replaced, and he was linked heavily with us. And we just kept Colin. We'd finished 4th. We kept Colin. Bobby Robson stayed in England. You know, and then maybe 1990 when he left the England job after World Cup. You know, Italia 90. Maybe that was when we should have gone and nailed him down.
Porto, was it?
He ended up going to Porto.
Barca.
Yeah, but we were linked with him again then, and maybe then if we'd have gone big for him, because he was coming to Everton. Don't forget.
I just feel like we always took the easy option, and then we took the easy option again after Colin.
But I think like you said, that to me that was absolutely the right thing to do, because Howard.
But it was also the easy option.
Well, he was at City.
Yeah,
he was at City and he was doing okay, man. Don't forget, this wasn't like the third time. Yeah, was fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Let's be honest. But the second time he'd gone to Spain and he took a team that could only have Basque players who were born basically fucking round the ground. It's like having a team from Kirkdale playing for Everton. It was like that kind of thing. He took them to 3rd in their championship. He was unbelievable at Bilbao, and he came back and went to Man City, and I think Peter Reid, or not Reid, he was later, sorry, but then he got them. In fact, Reid took over because of it, didn't he? He got them playing, and they were a good side again. And he had a few Everton like Heath in there and Peter Reid and that. And he was quite happy at Man City, and we went and got him and brought him in. And remember, we beat City early on under him, so it was the right thing to do to bring him out, because he had been successful and he's still a good manager. And he done, you know what? He come in, and that first season we were struggling.
Save that for the next video.
Of course, yeah. but you're right. So I think you've just, there will be no better reason for why Everton Football Club didn't continue with success from what you read out before, just with those players.
Yeah,
just high.
It was like that. Then we went into, and then obviously, you know, the Premier League era was looming.
But I mean, we got to two. We got to 2 cup finals under Colin Harvey, didn't we? And you know,
yeah, I suppose we needed to win something. We got to we got to the semi-final of the League
89.
Cup.
We were on a hiding to nothing because of Hillsborough.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody wanted Everton to win.
But we needed to win something in that time to keep that momentum going.
Build it,
and that's been a big fail of Everton always. I think is that we've always won trophies in batches, and never had that like every 3 years. Keeping winning and winning and winning. Like all the teams have done that. That's what got their trophies up, and we go into hibernation.
Someone said the other day, Mark, my mate, said the other day that coming out of Rotterdam with that team, saying they'll win 2 trophies between now and the next 30 years. 2. After Rotterdam, when Brian Clough said this team will dominate for 5 to 10 years, we won 2 trophies
in 33 years.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. It is disgusting.
Even if it's not a team that wins leagues every year, dominates.
It is disgusting.
For us not to win cups every now and again, it's not for a club of Everton's size.
And you can't, like, obviously there's a lot of blame goes on the European ban, but obviously Everton as a club didn't look after themselves. They let it slip away, whether that be through arrogance or mismanagement. They let it slip away, and then it just got worse and worse and worse, culminating in 94, and then we win something in 95 and everything looks rosy again, and you're like, and then it goes tits up again. We are one of the most unluckiest clubs ever because of what's happened to us, but we're also one of the most self-sabotaging clubs, and that can be said throughout time, whether it be in the 70s with what we in the 60s and the 70s with what we done, and then no Whiteside, Tony Cottee,
hours ago that.
There you go.
Off point.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's always a good, this was a difficult one, so because of the players were shite. They were shite, let's be honest. Ray Atterveld, Stefan Wren,
Stephen Remmer.
Stephen Remmer went on to play Champions League football.
He was poor though in England. Suit England just didn't suit. Remember him playing crazy golf. Seen him playing crazy golf in Southport after he just signed him. He had white jeans on.
The Morgan Schneiderlin of his time.
White jeans. Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts. Is it Norman or is it Tony Cotty, or are you just not interested and you're interested in all the other stuff that we've spoke about? Let us know.
That's more interesting than the players.
It's the history lesson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.